Because if you don't let ICE in the jail to talk to the illegal alien that you locked in a jail cell, not us. You took an illegal alien and locked him in a jail cell. That's who we want to talk to. But instead of letting us give us access to it, honoring our detainee, what did you release them in the public? What does that mean? That means the men and women of ICE are going to have to go out in the neighborhood and find them. So sanctuary cities are going to get exactly what they don't want. More agents in the community and more collateral arrests because you have forced us in the community because you failed to let us in the jail. What a shame. Why not give access? Someone in the country that committed a crime against U.S. citizens sitting in jail. Why not give access ICE to that person so when you're done with them, we can have them and do our job? Because releasing a public safety threat back in the public is just stupid. Just common sense.
Josh, this is a stunning achievement. There's no other way to put it. Stunning turnaround in a month.
You know, Rita, there was a lot of misinformation in that montage that we just saw there. So I saw Jonah Goldberg, a bunch of others saying that the president does actually not have the authority to largely shut down the border. Well, as the case may be, I mean, not to brag, but I actually am a lawyer here. I clerked on a federal appeals court. The president actually does have sweeping authority. It's actually codified at 8 U.S. Code Section 1182, subsection F. It goes back all the way to the Immigration and Nationality Act of the 1950s, a foundational immigration statute there. And that basically says that the president has, at his own discretion, the ability to shut down the border to all admission of any classes or groups of migrants that he wants to. It is a sweeping delegation of immigration enforcement authority from the Congress to the president. That was actually the very statutory subsection that was litigated as part of the so-called travel ban case the first time during the first Trump administration. That was the Trump versus Hawaii case there, where the court actually ruled 5-4 that yes, the statute means what it says. The president has sweeping authority there. So the court has said this there. The commentators, surprise, surprise, are dead wrong on the actual law there. Donald Trump is taking advantage of what the law actually says as it was litigated during his first administration there. And the results, as you said, speak for themselves. America has a secure southern border again. The people voted for it, and God willing, yes, they have it. And I think that the cartels are going to learn a very hard lesson here to the extent that they have not learned it already, because America's southern border right now, Rita, is not open for business.
Now let's move on, Josh, to the Democrats claiming to be the party for women, for women's rights, but let's see how they voted when it came time to protect girls and women's sports from male athletes identifying as women. Every single Democrat voted against the rights of women here. And not only, I would argue, is this position morally putrid, it's also a fringe position. It's an extreme position because around 4 in 5 Americans are clear on this issue, as even CNN reported.
Transgender female athletes in women's sports, only 18% of the country says that they should be, in fact, allowed to participate in women's sports. Compare this to the opposition. I mean, my goodness gracious, 79%. You rarely get 79% of the country to agree on anything, but they do, in fact, agree on the idea of opposing transgender female athletes in women's sports. But it's not just the here and now, Laura. It's not just the here and now. What we're actually seeing is a trend on this particular issue, and it's going in the direction of opposition.
Josh, that trend is interesting. In 2021, we had 62% who were opposed. Now the figure is 79, and I suspect it's even more than that, because this is one of the issues where people have been shamed for holding a very much a common sense mainstream view.
Yeah, look, it's an 80-20 issue, as you said there. I mean, it's fascinating here in the States, Rita, because you see even very left-wing politicians like Gavin Newsom of California, who had this widely watched interview with Charlie Kirk on Gavin Newsom's own new podcast this week. And even Gavin Newsom, who literally became the first politician in California history to issue same-sex marriage licenses, back in the day, whenever that was. I mean, even this guy who was ahead of the curve on that issue there, he's saying that it's now deeply unfair when it comes to biological males competing against females in women's athletic competition. Now, to be clear, no one should believe Gavin Newsom for a second. The guy's a snake. He's a total liar there. He's trying to gear up for a 2028 presidential run. I wish him nothing but the worst there. But this is yet another losing issue for the Democratic Party there. And Rita, this continues to be the structural issue for the Democrats. I actually wrote about this in my most recent column, which is that you have this chasm between the Democratic elites, which are in total lunacy la land when it comes to the open borders issue, when it comes to the transgender issue there, when it comes to any of these other issues, the Green New Deal, environmental regulation, let's not frack, let's not drill for natural gas. They're in total la land. I mean, even the median Democrat, as we just saw in that CNN graphic there, does not agree with their own party's elites. So unless and until they can find some way to repudiate their own party's elites, the ladies of the View, the Barack Obama wing of the party there, unless and until they can do that, they're just going to continue to flounder in irrelevance. But again, as someone who wishes them nothing but the worst, I'd say, go on.